Finally, for the first time, we can see how someone get visions in literal cinematic cutscenes, and that fortunate person is Scaramouche, or Wanderer. I know we already have seen that before with Rana in the last Aranara quest, but it was not that cinematic, and just so happened that it popped up after black screen. So, this Scaramouche cutscene, in my opinion, is really essential and hits differently, not only for the current moment but also later on in the story. With this new revelation, do we get a new idea who is granted vision and how vision is? Well, the answer is yesn't. First, we need to understand why this Scaramouche cutscene is important. Way back then, specifically since the beginning of the game release, visions already become an enigma for lore enthusiasts, but not that hype, until the Unreconciled Star events was coming. In that event, vision can resonate and pulsing with the stone that falls from the sky. So we can see what happened to the vision that is held by our character. And that was revolution at that time. That is because everyone can experience it and it automatically takes on a bigger audience, which means more players are getting interested in Genshin lore, especially topics about visions. Since that incident, vision has gradually become the subject of discussion among Genshin lore community. More and more lore enthusiasts talk about visions, researching it and finally theorizing it. One of the many mysteries about vision is about how the user or person get their visions, specifically the way it is granted. There are two sub-questions. Number 1, who is granted it? And number 2, what does it look like when granted vision? If we can find the answer to that question, then theoretically we can guess why vision exists in the first place and for what reason. So, most of us are trying to find those answers. Since there was not a real cutscene about visions, then the only way for us to find the answer is by searching the pattern that was provided in the game. There are 3 main sources: voice line about visions, character story about visions, and several NPC dialogues. After diving to those sources, instead of finding a clear pattern, we only find mess. Kind of. For example, the way characters get their visions are variative. Some get their visions just appear in front of them, some find vision somewhere near them, and some just activate the masterless vision. It also includes different situations. Some get their vision near death experience, and others just a mundane or daily life basis. The ages to get visions are also unclear. Some are child, some are teenagers, some are adult, and even reach 100 or 1000 of years like Ganyu. Basically, we find random things instead of patterns, but our intuition said otherwise. Not only that, our sources, most of them are from their memories, which is not in real full context. And that is a serious problem. That's why for a long time, we hope that Hoyoverse release the cutscene about visions. Because if we have, we can at least capture the full context of how person got their visions. After waiting for 2 years, we finally get what we want: Rana cutscene and Scaramouche cinematic cutscene. With those 2 new sources, we at the very least have a glimpse of hope to find the answer. Compare them one to one. What makes these 2 cutscenes special is not only about cutscene, but also there is a story behind it. Rana does not immediately get her visions, or Scaramouche get his vision at the first part of the quest. No, we must do journey, and through that, we can see what characteristic or thing that makes the person worthy to get visions. So, what do we find? Or more specifically, what do I find? Well, let's summarize what happened in Rana and Scaramouche case. The story behind Rana get visions, well, it's kinda lengthy. Basically, Rana gets ill after helping this reckless kid, Eotham, who plays in the Withering Zone. Withering Zone is not safe for non-vision user, so Rana get exposure. While we the traveler accompany Eotham back to village, unexpectedly Rana illness get worse, and get helped by Arana. Then Traveler finds Arana, who captures Rana in a bubble. In that bubble, Rana is in a dream state, which delay the illness that Rana has. To fully cure Rana from that illness, Arana told Traveler to find Bija. After going on a lengthy adventures where they met and befriend the Aranara, the Traveler finally obtained Bija. This Bija is the result of their memories with Aranara when they adventuring, especially Arama's sacrifice and his memories, who become the newly god Asvatatri. After that, Traveler gives Bija to Rana. Then Rana woke up from her coma and met Arana, who she had befriended in her youth and was upset she forgot about it. As they befriended each other, then Dendrovision appeared on her waist. How about Scaramouche or Wanderer get his visions? Well, it goes like this. While helping the traveler to find information about Descender in Imisutri, Scaramouche intentionally or unintentionally finds information about Tatarasuna incident, which has connection to him, and he found out the truth about that incident. After seeing that and giving help to Traveler, also asking the Traveler if the past can change or not, Scaramouche decided to erase himself from the world of Teyvat through Imisutri capability in order to save his friend and his Bone family. Unfortunately, his plan did not go really well, and the result of the past cannot be changed. He used to be Scaramouche. Now, after the deletion incident, he becomes Wanderer, an entire different person because he has no Scaramouche memory. Then, after several things are going on, Traveler finds Wanderer and asks him to meet Nahida. With Nahida and Traveler, Wanderer is told by them about his previous incarnation and decide to see the truth about his past. Then, Nahida and Traveler agree to that. Nahida later set a dream space to where Wanderer and Traveler can enter. These dream spaces are actually Scaramouche memories that Nahida saved by using allegory in the green box. By using this dream space, Wanderer can see and experience what happened to his previous incarnation. At the end, Wanderer decided to take all memories and scenes that previous him did. While Wanderer is receiving his memory back, Traveler is busy facing the giant robot. At the very crucial moment, Wanderer then gets his Scaramouche memory back, as well as Anima visions appears or drops in front of him. So, after we review what happened in two cases, now we can draw similarities between them. And this is what I found. Number 1, in those two cutscenes and stories, there is no single present of Celestia action or even clues or hints from them. Number 2, both cases have something to do with memory, especially memory save, Rana with Bija and Wanderer with the green box. Number 3, both Rana and Wanderer get their visions linked to dreams, Rana after sleeping in a bubble and Wanderer in dream space. And number 4, they both have strong desires, either from their inner self or others. Rana from the Bija and her inner self be friends with Arana again. And for Wanderer, he accepts his own past and deals with what he did in the past. Despite those similarities, there are also differences. The big major difference from those two cases is that Rana in the story does not actively participate, while Scaramouche or Wanderer actively participate. So, with that new information, then what can we conclude then? At first, we thought that Archon itself grants vision to the people, but after asking it to write an A, it turns out that is not the case. Then we move to the assumption that Celestia itself takes action to grant vision, but again, after seeing those two cases, Rana and Wanderer, it seems like Celestia does not take part in either. It shows us if granted vision most likely is an independent action, outside Archon or even possibly Celestia full control, and at the same time it works automatically. So, if Archon neither Celestia grant vision, then who or what else? The key that we get from those two cases are dreams and desires that have a heavy connection to bone and memories. And you know what? There is something out there that has a connection to dreams and desires and memories. And that is Imisutri. Yes, based on those two cases, I conclude if Imisutri itself grant vision to the people, directly or indirectly. Not only does Imisutri have a heavy relation to dreams, memories, and desires, it also has some kind of authority if you think about it. An authority over memories and embodiment of Teyvat as a whole. But you might ask, Imisutri is just a tree, or does not have a sign of consciousness, isn't it? Well, yes, it is not. Imisutri has no sign of consciousness, but it doesn't mean it has no capability to select people and give them vision. You can imagine this as like default system, a system that has been embedded in Imisutri. With this default system, it explains why most of the time granted vision looks so random and automatic. It is because this default system has some kind of algorithm for selecting people to get vision. And for the detail to that algorithm, then I believe it has something to do with a certain desire that humans or sentient beings have, along with their elemental characteristic and their past self. Besides that, despite the assumption that Celestia has no full control of granting vision, it still has a possibility if Celestia makes that default system for themselves, so they don't have to grant vision every time, and also for other unknown reasons. Highly possible about Elogenes, or marked people that have a chance to ascend to the godhood, or might be this vision system is actually the way of Celestia to look for a missing god, or potentially being that can overthrow them. So yeah, overall, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Scaramouche cutscene that we get plus Rana case kinda give us more new ideas about visions, but at the same time not really answer the other question left. Basically, we get the answer Yesen. Lastly, I just wanna remind you if my conclusion is only based on those two stories and cutscene, Rana and Wanderer. There are still many things that are uniquely tied to visions, like the pattern within the character element, the gem, the vessel, the holder, electrovision incident, etc. etc. So if we add more info about visions, my conclusion could possibly be different. We have already talked about vision here. Now we still have two topics left for the video series. They are about summoning and mysterious voice lady. In part 5, we will dive into summoning topic that Scaramouche mentioned in the Archon quest, which also has something to do with Khaenri'ah and Pierrot. If you still have another questions or opinion regarding the topic about visions in this video, feel free to share in the comment section down below. Hello Zen here and see you next time.